James to the rescue. Summertime is a very busy time on the island of Sodor. The engines take visitors all over the island, from the mountain village to the seaside at Titmouth Holt. James loves pulling passengers the most. He likes to think that pulling passengers is the best job of all. One morning, James puffed into Titmouth station. Murdoch was waiting for his passengers. He was cross. "You're late," he grumbled. "You should have been here 5 minutes ago." James was cross.
"I'm not that late," he puffed. "I got here as fast as I could."
"Well, it wasn't fast enough," puffed Murdoch. "Really useful engines are never late." And before James could answer, the guard blew his whistle and Murdoch puffed away. James was worried. He wasn't sure if he was late.
"We're not late, are we?"
he asked his driver. His driver checked his watch. "Maybe just a bit," he said. "But don't worry, we can make up for lost time." James hoped so too. He didn't want to be late. The guard blew his whistle and James set off for Knapford Station. When James approached Knapford Station, Henry and Duck were waiting. "Why are you late?" asked Henry. "We cannot have late engines."
"I'm doing my best,"
groaned James.
"I may not be as fast as you, but I can get to the station."
"You had better get a move on then," said Duck. "If the Fat Controller hears or sees you are late, then he will get another engine to do your jobs." This upset James now. He didn't want the Fat Controller to find out about him being late. Then the guard blew his whistle. "Hurry up, James," said Henry. "Time for you to go." "You should take a lesson from me," said Duck. "We Great Westerns are never late." James just sighed as he left the station, feeling more worried than ever. As James raced down the line, his worries were getting to him.
"If I am late," he said, "the Fat Controller will replace me."
"No, he won't," said the driver. "It's not your fault. You're doing your best." But James wasn't so sure. Then the fireman checked his gauge. "Hold it, James," he called. "We need to take on water." So James stopped at the water tower by a signal box.
"Bother,"
he puffed.
"I'll never be on time now."
The driver puts the hose into James's tender and then turned the tap. James rested while he had his drink. Just then Emily puffed up alongside. She was taking milk to the wharf and needed to take on water.
"Move aside, please, James," she whistled. "I need to fill up."
But James wasn't going to move.
"I was here first," he said. "You'll have to wait." "No, thank you," said Emily. "Now, please." "No," snorted James. "I am running late as it is, so you can just wait your turn."
This made Emily cross.
"Renee is waiting for me," she huffed. "So make way, please. My turn is important."
But James refused to move. James's driver explained to Emily's crew the situation with James running late. The drivers agreed, so Emily had to wait. Before long, James was filled up with water and was ready to go.
"There you go, Emily," puffed James. "Now it's your turn."
James blew his whistle and raced away. Emily was not happy at all.
"Why did I have to wait?"
she grumbled. "Passengers are more important," said Emily's driver. Emily sighed. She knew her driver was right. She felt silly. Meanwhile, James was racing towards the next station. His boiler bubbled and his steam swelled high into the air. "Steady, James," called the driver. "We're not racing anyone." But James was determined not to let the Fat Controller down. Suddenly, Gordon raced past with the express. "Move aside, James," wheezed Gordon. James watched as Gordon roared past him. He felt left out.
"Everyone is on time except me,"
he sighed sadly. Then there was trouble. As Gordon raced along, there was a loud crack. Steam hissed from Gordon's cab. The driver and fireman couldn't see a thing. "Stop!" shouted Gordon's driver. He applied the brakes and Gordon came to a stop. James gasped. He was very surprised.
Something's wrong,
he called to his driver. So James bumped over to Gordon. Gordon's driver and fireman came to see Gordon. "What's happened to me?" asked Gordon. "Your safety valve has burst," said the driver. "We can't go any further." "Oh no," groaned Gordon. "But what about the passengers? We can't let them be stuck here." Then James had a thought.
Maybe I can pull the express for Gordon,
he suggested. "You have your own passengers," said James's driver sternly. "You can't do 2 jobs at once." James was worried. He wanted to help, but wasn't quite sure what. Then he heard an engine chuffing, and then the ring of a bell.
"It's Toby!"
cried James.
"He can help!"
So the guard flagged Toby down. Toby chuffed to a stop beside James. He had collected Henrietta from the works. "What's wrong?" asked Toby.
"Gordon has broken down," explained James, "and I need to pull his express for him. Please, could you take my passengers to the station? You would be a great help."
The driver spoke about James's plan, so they all agreed to help. Gordon was uncoupled from the express, and with just enough puff, he managed to sidle into the siding. It took a while to sort the trains out. Toby and Henrietta were coupled to James's passengers, and James was coupled up to the express.
"Please hurry, Toby," said James. "My passengers are late." "I'll get the passengers to the station,"
smiled Toby, and he and James set off at once. James picked up speed and was soon racing along the main line. Toby watched as James disappeared into the distance.
"Good luck, James,"
he said to himself. James raced as fast as he could. He was determined to get the express to the station on time.
"Must make up for lost time,"
he said to himself over and over again. The passengers leaned out of the window to cheer James on. "Go on, James!" they called. "Come on, old boy," smiled the driver. "You can do it." James felt better. Now he knew the passengers were cheering. James raced into Kelsthorpe station. He was out of breath and his cheeks were red. As James stopped, he saw the Fat Controller. James was worried. But just then, the passengers ran to the front of the train and gave James 3 cheers. The Fat Controller was very happy. "I am very impressed with you, James," he smiled. "Even though you were running late, you managed to help a friend in need." James was surprised.
"I thought you'd be cross with me, sir,"
he puffed. "Of course not, James," the Fat Controller went on. "After that display you showed just now, you have proven yourself to be a really useful engine and a credit to the railway. And," he added, "Toby got your passengers safely to the station." Everyone cheered and James felt very pleased.
"So I'm not going to be replaced,"
he smiled. "Replace you?" asked the Fat Controller. "I would never do that. Who else could help out with the express while Gordon is away being repaired?" James gasped with delight.
"You mean?"
he asked. "As a reward for helping Gordon out," finished the Fat Controller, "you can pull the express while Gordon is being repaired." James was so happy he blew his whistle loudly. Everyone smiled. So while Gordon was away being repaired, James pulled the express. People waved and cheered as he passed by. His driver and fireman were very proud of him. James felt very happy to be really useful again. Now he had his confidence back, he felt nothing could stop him.
"No engine can ever replace me,"
he smiled.
"I am an engine on the Fat Controller's railway, and being really useful is the best thing to be."
And it certainly was.